Good morning. Thank you for joining us here at Unity of Walnut Creek. Today we're going to touch Christmas in a whole new way, in that Santa way, and see what Spirit really is talking about there. The important thing here is that we are able to support you in the journey within to that beautiful light and wisdom of who you really are. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Spirit wings, you lift me over all the earthbound things, and like a bird my heart is flying free. I'm soaring on the song your spirit brings, O Lord of all, please let me see a vision of your fantasy. You lift me up and you carry me on your spirit wings. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. Please remain seated and join us in singing the first Noel. The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields where they lay. Lay keeping their sheep, but the promise is night, not so deep. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel. Looked up and saw a star shining in the east above them far, and to the earth it gave great light, and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel.
Good morning. I'm Susan Galvin. I was previously assistant minister here at Unity of Walnut Creek, and it is my true pleasure and delight to be here with you this morning. Please join me in turning to the camera and waving hello to our friends at home. Hello? Happy to have you. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we appreciate you. If you are new to our services this morning, we want to issue a very special welcome to you. We are glad that you have chosen to join us today. Unity, just to give you a little idea of who we are, Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Here we celebrate the magnificence of the spiritual being we each are. It is our sincere desire to empower the spiritual growth by teaching and modeling the beautiful universal spiritual principles of being. Our focus is on universal truths, and today you may hear music and teachings from different spiritual paths. They express our many different perceptions of the divine. So I would ask you to join me now in our opening prayer. Let's open our service with the affirmative prayer as we attune to this divine presence in which we live and move and have our being. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And one more time. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We want to thank everyone who joined us during this past week in our spiritual focus, which was "My heart is as open as the sky." Today, we are happy to welcome one of our beloved favorites, Mark Martinez, as our musician. And as our service unfolds, we invite you to touch at a deeper level than ever before the beauty and the magnificence of your own spiritual nature. Please remain seated and join us in singing "O Little Town of Bethlehem."
O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie, above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by, yet in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. For Christ is of Mary and gathered all above. While mortals sleep, the angels keep their watch of wondering love. O morning stars together proclaim the holy birth, and praises sing to God the King, and peace to men on earth. Child of Bethlehem, descend to us, we pray. Cast out our sin and enter in, be born into us today. We hear the Christmas angels, the great glad tidings tell. Oh, come to us, abide with us, our Lord Emmanuel.
So good morning. Take that deep breath through your heart and just breathe in the awareness of this divine love that enfolds you, surrounds you. Wiggle in and get comfortable as we enter into our time of prayer and meditation together. As we journey within, as you feel that divine presence calling you to the experience of the love within your heart. Let the music be a guide on that journey. Do breathe. Take that breath through your heart. Breathe in this awareness of divine love. With each breath, that ebb and flow of that symbol of life. Receiving, giving, receiving, giving. Mother, Father, God, guide us to this place of greater understanding. Illumine us to understand and experience your presence. Unfold the beauty that we are aware of. Open our eyes to see your goodness within us and all around us. Mother, Father, God, awaken us to the awareness of your love, your infinite, unconditional love for each of us. I give thanks as I awaken to know that love. I give thanks as I am able to feel their love upon my heart. I am grateful as I have become aware of the millions of forms in which you have expressed this love in care and nurture, in healing and guidance, in beauty, in joy and quiet. I see your love in the people in my life. I feel the blessing each one is. I am so grateful as your love flows through me, as I love each one around, as I give in that way right for me. The smile, the word of encouragement, the question, the joy. Or simply being the peaceful presence. Your love flows through me. Your love expresses as me. I am. divine love here, now. And so I rest in your beautiful peace within my heart. And from that place of peace, I follow that instruction given by the Master. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be. Mother, Father, God, infinite love, one with this love, we choose to send this love forth, to send it forth so that it heals and blesses and uplifts. And so we radiate this love from our hearts, this divine presence and power. We send it first to our own bodies, to quicken every cell and system to wholeness, to fill our bodies with this divine vitality that is your life itself. We send it to mind and heart for wisdom and understanding. And we radiate this love out from our hearts, sending it to each one dear to us, to enfold and bless and lift each one into healing, wholeness, peace, wisdom, abundance. We send this love, radiating it forth sending it across this spiritual community, becoming a part of that light and wisdom that flows through each person, blessing everyone in their world. We radiate this love. We send it to every prayer request brought here, knowing with each one that they are enfolded in divine love and lifted to that which is the highest. Beloved presence, we radiate this love from our hearts. We send it across the communities in which we live, carrying healing and peace. We send it across our nation and on across the nations of the world, bringing a consciousness of peace and harmony to all people. And we send this love from our hearts. We send it to all who join us in prayer, whether in mosque or synagogue, temple or church, whether gathered at home or on the hillsides. For in seeking to know you, we are all one. And we radiate this love. We send it to this beautiful earth. We send it to bless and bring harmony to all her systems, to all her creatures. And we radiate this love about the earth to touch the heart of every single person in the earth. For you are the love in every heart, and in this love we are one. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please join me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And once again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. It is so. In that infinite, beautiful love within each being that radiates as the consciousness of the Christ. Amen.
I know that your plan for me is right, and I need you to fulfill your purpose in my life. I submit to you, I do. Be my everything. I'm coming to you again. Spirit, here I am. I surrender. I surrender. Oh, I surrender my life. give it all to you. I surrender, I surrender. Oh, I surrender my life, give it all to you. Humbled and broken, I come to you. I'm waiting and trusting to see what you can do. Oh, you know what's best, and I will come to you to rest. I'm coming to you again. Spirit, here I am. I surrender. Sing with me. I surrender. Oh, I surrender my life and give it all to you. I surrender, I surrender. Oh, I surrender my life, give it all to you. Oh, I surrender my life, give it all to you.
That was Mark Martinez. Beautiful, thank you. And now, my name is Mickey McCabe-Walls. It is my pleasure to highlight a few of the upcoming events here at Unity. I was so excited I came up a little early. So just a reminder, we are still collecting warm clothing for the homeless, and we have extended the date to next Sunday. Details on the clothing being collected are in today's bulletin. And please join us on Monday for a magical evening as we share our favorite Christmas songs with our friends and families at the Kensington Retirement Home on Geary Road. And our Unity children have created a very special Christmas Eve service. Parents and children will greet you as you enter, and joyous Christmas carols will begin our time together. The children's service starts at 5:30 on Christmas Eve. At the 8 o'clock service, the music will call angels to join us, and you will feel the touch of their peace on your heart. Find out about these and other activities in your bulletin and on our website. And now please take a moment to greet each other and have a seat when the gong occurs. Thank you.
Good morning. How you doing today? Doing good? I'm doing good too. It's really great to be back, and always makes me so happy to be able to share the gift of song with not only you lovely people, but people in various communities. Most of you know that I'm a theater singer, that I like the theater. My background is in musical theater. And the one great thing I love about musical theater is that, you know, not only the stories and the drama and all the technical aspects of shows, but the material in some of those shows can be so incredibly inspiring. So I thought my theme of music today is going to be inspirational songs from Broadway shows, like this next one I hope you like. If you believe within your heart, you'll know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time will come around when you say it's yours. Believe that you can go home. Believe you can float on air. Then click your heels 3 times. If you believe, then you'll be there. Believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the magic that's inside your heart. Believe all these things, not because I told you to, but believe in yourself as I believe in you. Believe there's a reason to be. Believe you can make time stand still. And you'll know this from the moment you try. If you believe, I know you will. Believe in yourself right from the start. You'll have brains and you'll have a heart. You'll have courage to last your whole life through. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in yourself, just believe in yourself as I believe in you.
Oh, yes. I'm going to invite you to believe. We're headed in the right place. And something that's really easy to believe, we have amazing talent in this community. Thank you to all who did our gorgeous concert by our choir and our party last night. Wow, what a magnificent experience. Now, imagination helps your belief a little bit. Okay, so I want to ask you to imagine with me. And let's move back in time before and actually at the beginning of that intention, that divine intention that brought about our modern Christmas experience. Okay, back as that divine intention was coming forth that would call the kind of Christmas that we get to touch today. Now, it would be my guess that intention was probably set by some angels responsible for divine education. Okay, and they probably got together, committee meeting, and said, okay, what are we going to put in motion now to let humankind really experience and understand this divine presence that is God? Okay, so if you're going to do that, then starting that motion that would draw forth from within all people the deep archetypal, deep spiritual knowledge that they have. Okay, but if you were going to do this, one of the things that has to happen is we have to get people in their hearts. Okay, so to get them in their hearts, there's an easy way to kind of have this evolve. Okay, and that's created around children. Okay, because children get us all in our hearts pretty easily. You agree with that? I mean, the adults, yeah, but the kids, okay, we get there. Okay, so we do it around children, and one of the things that lets people participate in experience is to give gifts, to experience gift giving. One of the reasons that it is so meaningful an experience is that it is the nature of the divine to give. Okay, it's. Let me use Jesus' words for it. Or what the gospel says he said. Jesus was in this conversation, and there were. It was kind of trying to take him into an understanding of this nature of the divine. So he pointed out their relationship to the children. If he said if your child asked for bread, you wouldn't give them a stone. Okay, then he goes on and says, if you, though you are evil, thanks. Anyhow, if you, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those that ask him? So it's part of this nature. The nature of the divine is to give. And so if we evolve a greater and greater experience of giving, what we're doing is we're inviting people into a greater and greater experience of that divine part of their own nature. So we could do this around giving gifts to children, and you know what happens once you start giving? You have to give more. So if we had giving to children, then what's going to happen is the children are going to want to give. Now, can you remember back when you were little and you first started the experience of giving to others? I mean, there's a while where you're just taking, okay, and we got that. Some of us stay real young for a long time, but there's a point at which we get and begin the excitement as we give. I can still remember going with my twin sister and Mom taking us to get the Christmas gift for Dad. Okay, and we picked out bow ties. And as little children, we picked out the very brightest bow ties in the whole place. And I can still remember he wore them. But that excitement, wow, we were giving. So giving is an amazing experience of the divine nature itself. But if we were to really evolve this, we need to have something to focus it around. And that takes a symbol. And let's face it, in God's symbols, since Michelangelo did the Sistine Chapel, we've got it kind of locked in. The grandfather figure. And it's okay. It's not everything, but pretty much it's the one we've got to work with unless we want to do a whole lot of education and explaining. So if you've got a grandfather figure, you've got giving gifts to children. And then if you're going to take a figure and have this evolve, we got to do away with the black robe stuff. Boring. And all that purity of the white robe. Aren't you kind of tired of it? Okay, so if we're going to clothe this symbol, this grandfather symbol, let's get something that expresses life. God is life, pure, radiant life, vitality, joy. What color would you pick? Red, yeah! Now, because there's always going to be some metaphysician around, okay? You've got to trim it in white so that everybody understands purity of intention and all those symbolic things, okay? But red, grandfather figure, giving gifts to children at Christmas, that would invite people into an awareness of God. And one of the things we've got to do, now, it's okay to do it at Christmas time, but it has to be beyond religion. Because religion has tended to put God in a pretty narrow box. Not often have you seen God in a red suit laughing. Okay? Religion's got kind of a narrow box. Okay. Now, at Christmas time is one of the greatest celebrations of gift and of giving. Because it's the celebration of the Christ child. Wonderfully so. For the gift of an intention of creating new consciousness, of bringing forth a greater understanding of love and its power and forgiveness. Wonderful thing to celebrate. But religion has kind of been obsessive about that. That's what they do at Christmas time. But if our symbol gave to every child, then we begin to teach that every child is as valuable to the divine as that one was. Okay? So you go with me there? So we can set that in motion. Now we've got the transportation thing to work with. Okay, because we got a problem. When you have the divine, you don't get to see the divine. Okay, you get to see the evidence of the divine. So they can see the gifts, but they don't get to see the symbol. So we're going to have to do a nighttime thing. Okay, the kids are asleep, nighttime, there it is, and because that's the way we experience the divine. Now, it's not that there isn't an awakening to perceive the very presence of the energy and intelligence that is the divine. That does happen. But we're working primarily with kids here, so we can stay focused that way. Nighttime. And obviously, the only place to give the gifts would be in the home. Because that is the expression of the place of care. That's the expression of nurture. That place created for the child. Now we could do it in the kitchen. But I don't know that the cooks would go for it. Okay, coming down Christmas morning, the kitchen filled with gifts. I think we better go to the fireplace. Okay, and fireplace works. The hearth, the fireplace is a symbol of the heart from which this comes. Okay, and that's because the fire is that symbol of radiating warmth that fills the home, of light that brings illumination. So beautiful, beautiful symbol, and it gives us a great chance. And that's to get in the other part that we've got to get in this symbology, and that's that this is an expression of higher consciousness. Now, we've always done the top-down thing. Okay, angels, you seldom see them heading down. They're always heading up. Okay, so down from the sky through the chimney, that would work. We've got it. Would make sense to the kids. And it raises enough question that it has to be magic. And you know what the magic is. So we're getting close. Okay, set this intention. And the other part of the home is that it begins to bring a different perception. Remember the understanding that that divine presence is out there. What if it's in here? What if it's in our lives? What if that's the beginning of the teaching, of the experience of the divine within my home, the consciousness in which I live, within my life? And watch what happens as that unfolds for the child. So we have an experience being created of a divine presence. Now we've got to deal with the rest of the time. Okay, first of all, if we aren't going to have everybody trying to find this symbol, we're going to have to put it far enough away that they can't easily get there. And we don't want to use heaven. That's overworked, okay? So we got to be here on earth, okay? So, any ideas? Where could we put it? North Pole. Good idea. Yeah, far enough away. Then, of course, if you're going to be in the North Pole, you're going to have to use a sleigh for transportation. We got snow and all that there. And we're a long time ago at this point. So, now, in pulling that sleigh, you want a nature symbol. Okay, because all of this is part of the nature of things. It's part of the harmony with the natural, with the world, with the truth of the divine in all things. We can't use flying horses. Okay, they already did that in Greek mythology. It's been used. Okay, so we'll have to go to something, they'd have up there in the North Pole, maybe reindeer or something like that. Okay, that work? Now, there's another part of this that's going to have to take place. In the experience of receiving from the divine, since we are co-creators, there needs to be an asking. Okay, there needs to be where we accept responsibility for that which we draw into our lives. Okay, so we'll have to do something so that the children at some point begin to write down what they want. Okay, now, because we don't have to stay in that religious paradigm, anything that's fun will do. Okay, someday they'll eventually create Nintendo games. Great idea. But it comes from the child. So the child begins to awaken to, as I ask of the divine, it longs to respond to me. One of the great things about the North Pole, all year long, that divine presence is creating for me that which I will discover I want. The way that works in spirit, it's already created before you know you want it. It is that it's already given by spirit that awakens that desire in the heart and eventually will create Nintendo. Okay? So we got it going. Now, we really need a different name for this symbol. Any suggestions? Santa Claus? Sounds good to me. We can do that. It's got a little bit of that spiritual thing, but not too much. Okay, so we've got the Santa Claus character that's going, this expression of the divine, but there is a deeper teaching that takes place here. Because yes, it is infinite abundance. Yes, it longs to pour itself out as goodness into our lives. Yes, our role is to ask, to open ourselves to receive what is already given. But since we're dealing with kids, we're going to have parents. And I don't know of any parents that don't have some level of control issue going on. So they're going to do the naughty and nice thing. It's just the way it is. We'll have to work with that. Okay? Because the way that control works is you do it our way, you get rewarded. You do it the other way, it gets difficult. Or at least most of the parents I met did it that way. Okay? So the problem is that is not the truth. And here's where we get to touch. The truth is, you do not get given anything because you're good. You are given everything because you are. Nothing is withheld from you because you're naughty. That's good to know. Some of that naughty is really fun. Okay? God is not going to withhold a thing from you because it's all given out of pure love for you as the child of God you are. There is no punishment. It's not the way it works. There is only love. You are loved. You can do guilt. Doesn't matter to God. Somebody else can do guilt for you. Doesn't matter. You can blow it again and again and again. Doesn't matter a bit. You're loved. And that divine seeks to pour itself and its goodness into your life. So even when they've been about as naughty as they can get, that Santa's going to come through anyhow. Because that divine presence is in that parent's heart. Does that work? Okay. And you get it? Okay. Now, if we could actually get this to unfold in the consciousness of humankind, there is an amazing teaching that will take place. An experience of the presence of God. Now, for the children, it starts with the receiving, with being loved, with being that to which that love expresses its goodness. And they're going to make their requests from a children's understanding. They're going to write their list to Santa, perceiving that something out there from the North Pole is going to come and bring them their goodness. And symbolically, that is a beautiful, and symbolically, that's a truth. But in actuality, what happens for that child is they will grow until they enter the discovery of the adult. You are the expression of the divine. You are the expression of Santa Claus. This divine love, this divine truth, has life because you express it. This love doesn't come from the North Pole or from heaven out there. It comes through the consciousness of humankind. It comes through the touch of hands, the gathering of gifts, the reading of Christmas lists from caring parents and grandparents and brothers and sisters and friends and aunts and uncles and neighbors and everybody else. That is the expression of divine love. That's the expression of God. Now, there's a challenge in there. Because there's a moment when you'll have to let go of your old God thought to get your new one. It's very comforting to have somebody up there in heaven or at the North Pole. It's much more comforting to discover that presence in you and around you, responding from all of life, which includes heaven and the North Pole. Okay. Wouldn't that be something if people went through that experience of learning the beautiful expression of divine love through them that God is? Two important things. The greatest teaching of all, that you are loved. That teaching for every child, for every person. I am loved. You don't have to believe. You don't have to be the right faith. One of my favorite Christmas stories is a man by the name of J. Frankton, little Jewish boy, didn't like the way his father did Christmas. Okay, his father wasn't sure that you could do Christmas trees. So, when he grew up, his family had wonderful Christmas trees. Santa came to their house in abundance. And then he discovered that Santa needed to express through him. 12 years. Jay went down to the United States Post Office in his town and he took the letters to Santa and he went through them until he found ones where there was a good chance it was going to be hard for a real Christmas to happen for those kids. He wrote back, said, I'm coming, I'll be there at this time, and organized Santa. And he showed up in uniform, pack on his back, full of presents. Over the years, when he joined him, people donated rooms of presents that ended up going to children all throughout that city. One of his favorite times. Went in and there was a family of 4. He came into their house and all the kids were there. Santa had said he'd show up and Santa was there and it was a pretty meager place to come into. But he was glad to be there. Talked to them, gave them gifts, and there was a little girl sitting over in the corner. Said, come here. She came up kind of hesitantly and she said, you aren't a part of this family, are you? Did Santa bring you anything this Christmas? I said, no. And she reached up and whispered in his ear, I'm Jewish. He laughed at her and said, so am I. And she received her presents at Christmas from Santa. There is no barriers in divine love. That truth is truth for us all. You are the expression of divine love. And Santa Claus lives in you. Santa lives in me. Join me. Santa lives in me. Again, Santa lives in me. Feel the love. Feel the joy. No judgments. No limitations. It's infinite abundance. So ignore your budgets. Again, Santa lives in me. This Christmas, enjoy it completely. Divine love just wants to bless everyone in your world through you. That's what it does. And because Santa lives in you, it will do it well. Bless you.
you would like prayer support for challenges or celebrations, please ask our heart ministers. They will be available after the service, here in the sanctuary and on the patio. Our heart ministers are wearing the lavender stoles. I now ask everyone to take a moment to take the connection card out of your seat pocket in front of you. We invite each of you to take a moment to fill out this card. If you have a prayer request, a question, or a comment. If you are new to Unity, you are also invited to fill out the card or stop by the welcome table on the patio. We truly look forward to meeting you. If you are committing to join us in our weekly spiritual focus, let us know that too. Our spiritual focus this week is Santa lives in you. Should we say that all together one more time? Santa lives in me. Okay, let's try it one more time. Santa lives in me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The ushers will receive your card with the offering toward the end of the music. And that brings us to our prosperity celebration. For credit card donations or love in action donations, there are envelopes provided in the back of each chair. One of the great teachings of abundance is the Jesus teaching, give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. We celebrate that outpouring of divine love in each of our lives. I invite you to now take your tithe or love offering in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all your good. Repeat our affirmation with me together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I'm true.
This is the moment. This is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever are coming into play, are here and now today. This is the moment. This is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I've made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckons, I never reckon second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will always recall, this is the moment, the greatest moment, the greatest moment of them all. It's kind of early to sing those notes, so forgive me for my croaks.
Oh, so our children are rehearsing for the family Christmas Eve service, so I would invite you, particularly on this day, go to that beautiful child within you, that being that was so receptive Christmas morning to what might be under that tree. And let's share together our blessing for our children. Children, you are loved, special, and important. The light of God shines through you. It is so. What a joy. And I invite us to stand and take hands and let's share together our prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song. You are the love and the light and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.